the RIOT Podcast. This is the Wednesday, July 19th edition. Coming up today in the show, we do Would You Rather Wednesday. Would you rather live in the middle of nowhere or in the middle of a city? We also find out why Isaiah is so upset about the Twinkie situation from yesterday and a whole lot more good stuff. But first, I have a question for you. We got a video podcast now, right? Obviously, we had audio podcast, very successful, long running, plenty of followers. And we got the video podcast up off the ground as well.
Yep. Everything
we do is filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching, like sometimes I'll go back and, check ourselves so we don't wreck ourselves. And I wondered to myself recently, I thought, should I start wearing makeup?
What?
Because you think of like any other, if you watch like, let's say Stephen A. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing makeup. He's got to look good. Makeup. Got to cover up. He's probably got some blemishes if you saw him au natural. I got some blemishes. I've never had good skin. And now it's being filmed in high definition, I assume. I don't know how that works. In like 1080p. I probably need to cover up some of these blemishes. Don't you think?
I think you look fine.
Don't you think our video podcast would be even more successful if I looked better?
That it would. But I don't think it's you.
You don't think I'm the so you need to look better.
No, it's not me. Definitely not me.
So what needs to look better then?
I think it's our whole show as a whole.
What do you mean?
Like I don't think people are tuning in because we're cute.
Speak for yourself.
Just saying. I don't think anybody's...
No, you're right. But they would if I looked cuter.
But if you looked
good.
And
I could look cuter if I wore makeup. Makeup can do wonders.
But think about this, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to wake up early in the morning and do your makeup?
Yeah.
Or are we going to have...
I don't know. Nikki used to do it.
Are we going to... No, she did. Did she?
She put on some kind of makeup, didn't she? Don't you think?
I don't know if she did. She had to put on something, right?
She had to do something.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But she's used to it. You would take way longer. You'd be so much slower.
Yeah.
But think about this, though. Ready?
And I have way more to cover up, I'm sure.
What if we hired someone...
Yes.
To do it.
You're right. That's what we should do.
I mean, I'm not going to do it.
We have an ad out for a producer for the show. They should have makeup skills. Cosmetology.
Yeah. Before the show,
additional.
They put a full face of makeup on you.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yet again, they're not touching my face. But for you, you get a full face of makeup. Nothing would make me happy.
Think about how therapeutic that would be, too, for me to be able to talk to Diana while she's...
It's not going to be Diana.
You don't think it's going to be named Diana?
No.
For me to talk to Mel?
Mel.
Yeah.
Stephanie. Yeah, I think we could.
Agatha.
Or it could be like a Chris.
It could be a Chris.
Why don't we just have Moneybags come in early?
Yeah.
And have him do your makeup in the morning.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Have you ever worn makeup?
He puts a lot of effort in everything he does, so I think if we told him, Chris, Moneybags, you need to do makeup for us, he would do it right.
Have you ever worn makeup?
Yes, I think. I can't remember.
When?
I can't recall the occasion.
Likely story.
It was like I was going to be on film, or it was a big occasion or something. I need to look a little better than I typically do. And so, yeah, I've definitely popped it on a time or two. Have you?
I used to wear it when I worked in TV.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wore it every time.
Now we're working in TV again, in a way.
I guess so.
In a sense. Here's what I was thinking, though. If I was going to start, I feel like I wouldn't like just all of a sudden one day come in full makeup, looking way better, just smooth.
They go that full glam.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I'd have to like incrementally every day, so it looks like I was just naturally
looking like that.
Yeah, getting better skin.
And then all of a sudden, people look at like a video podcast, a video from like now versus like a year ago, and they're like, "What happened? Did he get work done? Did he get Botox?"
Or if they watch in the wrong order, they're like, "Oh, Hudson's not looking so good.
Oh man,
he's taking a turn for the worst.
It's a bad morning."
Yeah.
No, I think you should do it. I think it made me happy.
If I started wearing makeup,
it'd be so darn funny.
I think it's a good idea
because you can't tell on camera, but in person you can tell.
No, you can tell on camera. I can tell on camera.
When people are, if they're full glam,
you
can tell.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know I got what you're saying.
But in person, it's way more obvious than it is on the camera.
Yeah.
So, I think you should do it. That's my conclusion.
I might get on that. I might start asking some questions of other people and see if we can
Ask
start making some
Sledgehammer.
improvement. I mean, it can't hurt the show, right?
Yeah, ask Sledgehammer if it's allowed.
I don't think he'd have a problem with
No,
it.
I don't think you would at all. I think you'd feel weirded out, but I think you'd be perfectly fine with it.
All right, enjoy the show. We told you what's coming up today, what you're about to hear, and then tomorrow, I'll tell you, it's Choice Champions Day, and we're doing TV theme songs.
Oh, yeah.
So excited. So excited. So enjoy the show. Catch you next time.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Miranda Lambert. Are you aware of her?
Heard of her?
Heard of her?
Pretty familiar.
Country singer. She's been around for a long time, 20 years just about.
She's a pretty big deal.
She's been in the country music game. Used to be married to Blake Shelton.
An astute veteran in the game.
Yeah. What's your favorite Miranda Lambert song? Can you think of one?
I don't know. Off the top of the dome.
What about that one that's like, you went away, how dare you? You like that one?
Not so much for
No.
me.
My rendition's pretty good.
I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not so much for me. Miranda Lambert, she's all right.
She's causing some controversy at her recent concert. Well, I'll just let Miranda speak for herself here.
I'm gonna stop right here for a sec, Danny. I'm sorry. These girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit. I don't like it. I don't. We're here to hear some country music tonight. I'm singing some country music.
She's here to sing some country music. They're not listening to the songs. Stopping the whole show because people are taking selfies. Your thoughts?
Come on, Miranda. That's so lame. What do you mean? It's selfies. If you go to a country concert, is there even a chance that you're not going to take a photo of yourself at the concert?
Depends who it is.
I mean, come
I don't mean
on.
this concert. I mean, well, maybe, but I mean, if it's me, I don't take a lot of selfies.
How many
But
times?
I fully expect everybody else to be doing it.
Yeah, like how many times has Miranda Lambert performed and she's seen people taking selfies? Is she getting upset every single time?
You would have thought in the last 20 years of her career, she's seen it all.
Like
Apparently, she's never seen people taking selfies before.
She stopped the whole concert
Uh-huh.
because the people that were like down in the bowl in the bottom
Uh-huh.
were taking videos when she was singing, taking pictures. Like, that's just insane to me. Like, I can't imagine. It must have been abrasive. The only way that this is okay is if these are the most abrasive photos of all time.
Uh-huh.
Like, they had to be crazy. How could this have been so distracting that she was singing and she noticed them, and they must be crazy?
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking. It is it's not a good look. But maybe if I'm playing Miranda's advocate here, we've all been to shows where people aren't just taking like pictures and videos, they're just being real obnoxious about it. And so if the only way this is okay is if these people were distracting the other fans and it was so obvious that she's like, you're ruining the show for other people. But she didn't say that. It feels like it was distracting her and she didn't like it. And so she stopped the whole show. But you gotta have a cooler head, you know?
Like, these girls are down here more worried about a selfie than listening to me. I didn't know that you couldn't hear the music if you weren't looking at her. And it'd be different.
Yeah.
Listen to this. It would be different. It would be so different if Miranda was up there putting on a show. She was standing there.
Stationary.
She wasn't even dancing. If you're dancing, you know
Uh-huh.
what? You can do, you know what, Miranda? If you're dancing up there, then you can say this. You can say, you know what? You're not even enjoying the show. You're just singing. She was stationary. She probably hadn't moved in 20 minutes. There was no
She might as well have had a stool.
There was no performance that involved anything but her voice. I could have listened to the whole show, enjoyed the whole thing with my eyes closed because she was not moving.
Yeah.
So, Miranda, if you want to say you're not paying attention, whatever, you can do that if you're up there performing. And she's singing, and it sounds incredible. She's a great singer.
Uh-huh.
But if you're not dancing, I don't need to see you doing your song because these hand movements, I'm doing them right now. And everybody on the radio listening in their car is getting the same experience as they would if they were in front of me because I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. I think if this is so bothersome to you, do the Jack White thing, which I actually appreciate. Just tell people not to bring their phones in. But you can't start stopping selfies partway through the show.
You know how many times you had to stop the show?
Yeah.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
It's Would You Rather Wednesday. The question is, would you rather live in the middle of nowhere or right smack dab in the middle of the city? And unsurprisingly, people with strong opinions on this one. Becca texted in, middle of nowhere, 100%. Noted. Tim. Actually, you know what? I want to save Tim's because his is real good.
You like Tim's answer, do you?
Not that everybody else's isn't good, but Tim's is one that I really vibe with. So let's hold off. AJ says, middle of nowhere for sure. Not a big fan of crowded areas. Understandable. Julia Gulia. City.
City!
Simply.
Actually, is what she said.
City. Todd, middle of nowhere, of course. Deb, middle of nowhere. Regina, middle of nowhere. I like a break from people and don't want to hear their noise, but want to be able to blast my music if I want.
That's what radio used for.
Regina, you ever been to the city? People blast music all the time. Dylan says middle of nowhere for sure. I've had it both ways. I like that. And prefer simple peace and quiet living. I like that, people that have had both sides of it.
You try a little bit of both.
Like myself, for example. I lived in a city. I would say, I guess I haven't lived downtown, but I've lived in a city. I've also lived in the middle of nowhere. And for me, I'm a city guy, for sure.
City boy!
Let's get back to Tim. Tim said, city. If I'm near a sports team I like, and the food options are great, along with a great view of the city. I guess is he putting qualifications there?
Yeah, he's putting qualifications.
So if those expectations aren't met, he's a middle of the nowhere.
Yeah, I think if there's not a great sports team he likes and not great food options and maybe his apartment isn't a great view, then he's not picking the city. We got some more in. Jeff says middle of the city. I would love to not have to own a car and have access to all that it has to offer. I can take vacations out to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Jeff, you're speaking my language. That's what I was thinking. Middle of nowhere, great for a vacation. You just want to get away from it all. You get an Airbnb in Wyoming. You have a good time. But you want to live your life, you got to be in a city. For me.
Mark says, I live in the middle of nowhere, and it's horrible.
Oh, you don't hear that too often.
I have to drive 45 to 60 minutes to get anywhere.
Yes.
City. Mark, you can just move.
You can't move.
You can move closer. Maybe he likes his house.
Yeah. Or maybe his job requires him to be out in the middle of nowhere.
D, this is a good perspective. I used to enjoy living in the city. Hated when we moved to the middle of nowhere as a kid. As an adult, after years of living in one of the largest cities in the U.S., I really enjoy living in the middle of nowhere now, which I think is common, that it changes as time goes on.
Sure. Understandable. I like Regina texted back and she says, yeah, but she likes blasting her music and she's been to the city, but she wants to be not to be a jerk. So she doesn't. So that's
a good way,
She just wants to move into the middle of nowhere to be courteous to others. Well, what is your pick?
See, I've done both as well.
I
think at this point in my life right now, I'd like to live closer to things.
Yeah.
Because I'm all by my lonesome. If I lived in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to be in a house by myself.
Yeah, you'd be really a recluse.
It'd be me, and I would hate Jim, my dog, even more. Yeah, it'd be terrible. He would just drive my life crazy. I'd be by myself. All I would do is just watch shows. So right now, I need to live in a city. I think as I get older, I'm going to want to live near a city, but out with my own space.
Yeah.
That's my prime spot, is I want to be near a city, but have my own yard. I want to be able to pee outside.
Yeah.
Things like that are just necessities in my life as an adult.
Yeah, I think one more underrated aspect, the first thing that came to mind for me of why I would do city. I mean, obviously, some people have mentioned just having different food options. Obviously, all the different, whatever entertainment it is, you're going to have an easier time with that in the city. And then for me, you think about living in the middle of nowhere. You could be, let's say you get in a car accident. Who's helping you?
Oh, come, we're not doing that.
That's what I think.
Come
That's what I think. It's like if
on.
I get in a car crash.
No.
And if I drive off the road, or a deer always, or moose, depending on how middle of nowhere you are, and you hit a moose, then what happens? Who's going to come help you? You're in the middle of nowhere. The city, there's always somebody around to lend a helping hand. That's what I love about it. That's Would You Rather Wednesday.
Oh, hi there.
Worst of the riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
We tried the new Dinky. No, it's hard to do this.
I did the same thing 3 seconds ago.
Dinky X Twing Dong. No, it was a Twinkie X Ding Dong. It's a mashup. Hostess made the mix of ding dongs and Twinkies, and so we tried it on the show.
And we sure as heck aren't getting another one.
No, they're long gone.
Because the people at Radio U somehow ate 19 snack cakes yesterday. 19. We had Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and Twinkie Ding Dongs. 3 boxes, 30 of them. There's no Twinkies left.
Not a one.
Somehow, there's none left. And somehow there's 3 Ding Dongs and 2 Twinkie Ding Dongs. There's like 4 people that work here, other than Hudson and I. They all ate, 5 apiece? It's insane. Literally insane.
I think Isaiah was looking forward to having a Twinkie today.
I thought that maybe after I ate a Twinkie yesterday at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. I ate one yesterday. I didn't want to eat one the rest of the day because I'd already eaten one. Maybe today I'd come in and have one at a normal time. Maybe I'd get one at noon. No! 8 of them eaten. Somehow. Insane.
I have a confession
So I'm
to
upset.
make.
How many did you eat? I knew it was you. How many did you take home?
No, I took one home. I took one. We obviously each had one on the show, and I had one that I took home. That was it. So that means what?
That was it?
Was it a 10 box?
It was a 10 box.
So 7.
7.
You think that's unreasonable for 4 other people?
7?
In addition to all the other ones they ate of the other varieties.
Yeah, okay, but it'd be one thing if we just had the Twinkies were gone. It'd be one thing if it was just 7 Twinkies eaten.
Yeah.
Then we had 6 Ding Dongs and 7 Twinkie Ding Dongs.
All right, here's the question then. Who do you think ate the most? We got Sledgehammer, the boss, Michael. We call him Sledgehammer. There's Moneybags, Chris, the engineer. We call him Moneybags. There's Tyler, Big Country, on the afternoons new on Radio U.
He can put down some Twinkies.
And then Nene. Nene is a nickname, so he doesn't get one. Who do you think put down the most?
Oh, it's so tough. When I think about it, they're all here for the same amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Nene has a reputation for eating a lot of snacks in the afternoon. So my first bet would be on him. It's definitely not Sledgehammer.
Oh, no. Michael the Sledgehammer, definitely.
Moneybags, no. He packs his lunch.
He does.
And he probably brings...
He might have had one.
Maybe one. So now we're leaving it down to Big Country and Nene.
Yeah.
How many could they have eaten?
Maybe Big Country.
Just went wild in there.
Tyler in the afternoons.
He just went
in between
wild.
every request he took, every time he talked yesterday on his show, he was over in the break room stealing some Hostess.
Like, let's say it was you, right? Let's say you yesterday in the afternoon. How many Twinkie Ding Dongs if you were going to go crazy?
Oh, how many could I have?
Like one of each, right? There's no way you're eating more than one of each.
Well, is it a contest to see how many I can have, or
No,
is
it's
it
just-
until
it's-
I'm satisfied?
It's just like a normal Tuesday.
I think probably like 3 max.
Yeah.
3 feels like a lot.
That feels like
if
a
I
lot.
wasn't counting calories.
Yeah, if you were going to
if I was-
have a crazy day.
Yeah. Just
3 feels like a good
keep
amount.
going. But somebody was just chain eating Twinkies.
Somebody was putting them down. They put down 7 and then 6 Ding Dongs and 7 Ding Dong Twinkies. That's so much. So
Unbelievable.
much.
They're we'll know whoever gets checked into the hospital is the one that did it.
We'll see what happens today.
Yeah.
The real question is, will there be anything left tomorrow?
Oh, there's not going to be a shred.
There's 3 Ding Dongs left and
Unless-
2 Ding Dong Twinkies.
Unless this conversation is heard and makes somebody feel bad.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope the next time that we have a snack, we can have it for more than one day.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
When there's 30 of them.
There's 30 of them and there's like 6 of us. You would think that we would make them last longer. I'd like to have snacks in Radio U, and I wanted to last a little bit longer. Maybe a week of Twinkies. Imagine a week of Twinkies
What a
in
day.
there.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you seen the lazy girl jobs kind of trend situation going viral. Are you familiar with the lazy girl jobs?
I'm not up with it.
Lazy girl jobs. The woman who started it first of all wants to be clear that it's not a dig on women saying they're lazy. And she herself is a woman. But she is just pointing out that there are jobs out there that pay like a living wage, like actually pretty decent, like $60K at least, that you don't have to do a whole lot of work. Like really good for work-life balance. You don't have to overexert yourself at the office or whatever the job is, and you still make a decent amount of money. She calls them lazy girl jobs. And so now this woman is coming out, the kind of coined the term, and is telling people, if you have a lazy girl job, don't be posting about it on the socials. Because she doesn't want you to get in trouble with your boss.
That makes sense.
She doesn't want you to get reprimanded or even fired for what makes it sound like you're kind of phoning it in.
So what are some examples? I want to know what some of these lazy girl jobs are.
That's what I was trying to think of too. The way I imagine it, right, is jobs where like we could come in here and kind of phone in the show, and it would definitely sound different than us actually trying.
True.
So one day we should actually try and see if people can tell the difference. But phoning it, like I think of jobs where you could phone it in and it wouldn't be any different than actually putting any effort in. The one I hate to say this, the one I first thought of, but
Come on now.
I don't think it pays enough to count, is like Walmart greeter. Like how could you, what would be phoning it in as a Walmart greeter?
Not saying an energetic hello.
You just say hello instead of saying, welcome to Walmart. Does that count? But I don't think they make enough money.
Well,
there's no chance. Okay.
You worked in fast food.
Uh-huh.
Could you phone it in at Panera? What would happen?
Oh, phoning it in would be way different than actually putting in effort, for sure.
And you could, obviously Panera probably isn't paying you like $60K to work either.
Definitely not.
But you could for sure phone that in, couldn't you?
You can phone it in, there'd be a noticeable difference, so that doesn't count, for sure. Fast food, I mean, you can tell people do phone it in.
True, they're already doing that.
Yeah. So what's a job where it'd be hard to phone it in just because phoning it in would be the same as doing the actual job?
See, my thing off the top of my head, I don't know if there's a job. I can't think of any jobs. I'm sure you guys can text in 8772 Radio U.
Mm-hmm.
A job that it wouldn't even make a difference if you tried or not.
Yeah.
It seems like a crazy job.
Uh-huh.
Because, in any jobs, if you're thinking like electrician, any sort of trade.
Yeah, people are going to catch on if you're not getting the wiring done.
The house is going to catch on fire.
Uh-huh.
If you're not doing it the right way.
Your license is going to get revoked.
If you're a teacher,
mm-hmm.
What's phoning it in look like?
Here's a good one. I got it. I don't know if this makes enough money either. The people at construction, like when they're doing construction on the road, that hold the sign that tell you whether to go slow or stop.
Instead of like waving around, you're just kind of leaning on it.
Yeah.
You're
like,
not
what's the
trying
difference?
this hard.
Yeah.
That's true.
You dilly-dally in the time between, you see the other person flip their sign, you're like, I'll just wait a few more seconds.
I'll just see when I want you to go.
Yeah, when I feel like, when I get around to it. 8772 Radio U, if you can think of a lazy girl job, a job where you can't phone it in because phoning it in is the job, and you can make a living wage doing it.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Talking lazy girl jobs that you don't really have to put a whole ton of effort into. You don't have to, it's easy to keep work at work. You don't have to check your emails and whatever and take phone calls when you're not in the office, that kind of stuff. And you still get paid handsomely. What are lazy girl jobs? You got to hear some of these, the people are saying.
I'm excited.
It's borderline. It's kind of insulting, I think, some of them. To us.
To us?
To us, to people who work here. Because one of them, Dan, said voiceover work.
I know this sounds like it's easy.
Well, this isn't voiceover, what we're doing.
I know, but that's it's too close, Dan.
But our guy, Big Country, Tyler, in the afternoons, he does voiceover work. I don't think he'd say it's a lazy girl job. Also, I don't know if it pays. Like he's doing okay. I think. But I don't think it's like, oh,
Mega Millions.
Yeah, I'm not set here. It's just a lot of time spent on that. How about Katie says data entry? That feels good. I don't know what that pays. But that feels like data entry. That's just typing stuff in, right?
To Excel, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I've seen that advertised before.
What about dog walker?
Yeah, that's pretty. You can phone it in.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The dog will never tell.
Yeah, that's right. What's he gonna tattle on you?
If you take the dog for a
shorter walk,
a 5-minute walk,
yeah,
instead of a 10-minuter, who's gonna find out?
What about paid reviewer?
Oh, I know people have done this.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought this up.
Uh-huh.
A paid reviewer.
Danielle brought it up.
Well,
Danielle texted
Danielle, this is a good one because I've met people like this before. Paid reviewer, you can easily phone it in, obviously. But I don't want you acting as if like you're this prestigious thing.
Okay.
Because Yelp is paying you
Yeah.
to do whatever. Like, I don't want to hear about that. Whatever you're trying.
And it's different from being an influencer, right?
Yes.
An influencer,
completely
content
different.
creator, you are the draw, and then other places want you to come.
A paid reviewer, you are just a statistic.
Yeah, that's right. You're just helping the star rating.
Yeah, they actually asked me to try different wines. I don't want to hear about it. All right.
Yeah. I
I've
also
been in
feel like
those conversations before.
I don't know. None of these, I guess I don't know the salary. I just can't imagine that pays enough.
No.
Especially if you're phoning it in on the interviews or the reviews, however you are doing it. This is a good one, though. This is a good one from Scott. Security guard. 99% of the time you're
not doing anything.
Nothing, right?
You're right.
As long as you got the body for it. That's all.
The intimidation factor is all you need.
Mm-hmm. In the right outfit, pretty much. There's some good ones. I feel like none are lines of work that we could get into.
I know. I was really hoping that I would hear something that I'm like, you know what? That sounds great.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Oh, here's one more. Social media manager.
I feel like you can't really phone it in with that, though.
It's tough.
I feel like there's a lot that goes on with that.
Nene is our social media manager. He's
There's
checking
no way
it.
he's
He's
phoning
like
it in.
24/7 on that thing.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Yeah.
I think people say that who haven't done it.
Uh-huh.
They're like, social media sounds so easy. All you do is post. It's not. I don't want to hear that.
No, it's a lot of time consuming.
Yeah, you have to be super organized.
Yeah. But I guess phoning it in, though, doesn't matter how long it takes if you phone it in.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.